You just got a raise. Congratulations. You earned it. But for most people, a raise changes almost nothing. And for some people, I was one of them. A raise can actually leave you worse off than before, poorer. Even though the number on your paycheck went up. I'll tell you exactly how that happened to me later, because it changed how I think about money for good. For most people, it goes like this. The bigger paycheck lands. It feels great for about 2 weeks. And then, without anyone really deciding anything, life slowly expands to swallow it. A slightly nicer apartment, eating out a bit more, the car upgrade that felt completely reasonable at the time. A year later, you're earning more than you ever have, and your bank account looks exactly the same. The raise is gone, and you can't even point to where it went. So a raise is the most dangerous money you'll ever earn. I know how that sounds coming from a finance channel. I mean it. It's dangerous because it's the easiest money to lose. You didn't plan for it, so every dollar feels like extra. And extra money is exactly the kind that slips away into a slightly more expensive life you won't even remember choosing. But it doesn't have to go that way. The same dollars, pointed at the right things, can change the entire direction of your finances. They can buy you something a new car never will. So I'm going to give you 10 things to actually buy after a raise. Real, specific things. Not vague, invest in yourself advice. Actual stuff you can spend money on this week. Most of them aren't what you'd expect. A couple aren't even things. But every one of them is something the smartest version of you would be glad you bought a year from now. The whole world is built to absorb your raise. Every brand, every ad, every treat yourself, you deserve it, is aimed at the new money in your account. They're very good at it. The people who actually build wealth aren't the ones who earn the most. They're the ones who decide where the raise goes before anyone else can. You're watching this, so you're already trying to be that person. Grab your notes app and stick around to the end, because I'll show you how one normal person split a raise so that a year later, his life looked almost the same, but his finances were completely different. One line to keep in your head the whole way through. Every raise should grow your bank account, not your car payment. Number 1, buy yourself one guilt-free treat on purpose. Before you do anything responsible, spend some of this raise. On purpose. On something you actually want. Cap it at a small specific number you decide ahead of time. I mean a real thing. The nice dinner out you keep putting off. Tickets to a concert or a game. The gadget that's been sitting in your cart for 3 months. A weekend trip you've been meaning to take. One thing bought on purpose with zero guilt. If you don't reward the raise on purpose, it'll reward itself by accident, leaking out into 100 little upgrades you never actually chose. One planned treat gets it out of your system, so the rest of the raise can do real work. This video isn't about being miserable. You worked hard for this. Enjoy a slice of it. Reward the raise on purpose, so it doesn't reward itself by accident. Number 2, buy down your highest interest debt. For most people, the less debt you carry, the better. Lower chance of financial ruin, and you sleep better at night. But it's not black and white. If you can borrow at a very low interest rate and use that money to make more money, and you can handle it mentally, it's not keeping you up at night, then that debt can make sense. That's not the kind I'm telling you to get rid of. The kind to get rid of is credit card debt. Credit cards are routinely over 20% interest. I've seen 28, 29%. Paying that off isn't just paying a bill. It's an investment, and it's about the only guaranteed one there is. Pay off a card charging 24%, and you've locked in a guaranteed tax-free 24% return. No stock, no crypto, no real estate deal can promise you that. So if you're carrying a high-interest card, that's the first place your raise should go. Is there ever a good reason to take on high-interest debt? Yes. 1. If a credit card is genuinely the only way to pay for a course, a certification, or a program that gives you a real jump in income, something that bumps your salary 50%, then even a 27% card can be worth it, because what you earn from that skill is far more than the interest. What you should never do is run up a 27% card on stuff that does nothing for you. A designer purse, fancy shoes, things that don't grow your income, and if you're honest, don't even make you happier. You enjoy it for a few days, you show it off, and then you forget you own it, while the interest keeps draining you for months. The only exception is if how you present yourself directly makes you money. You're a real estate agent or in some client-facing role where the way you dress wins you business. For most people watching this, that's not the case. You can't buy a better investment than paying off a high-interest debt. Do that first. Number 3, buy your first month of breathing room. Once the debt is handled, buy yourself a cushion, one full month of expenses, sitting in a separate account so you're a paycheck ahead of your own bills. Open a separate high-yield savings account, ideally at a different bank from your checking, and move 1 month of expenses into it, out of sight, and a little annoying to get to. I made a whole video on why this one move changes everything, so you can watch that one after this. Buy your first month of breathing room doesn't sound sexy or cool. It won't give you the same dopamine rush you get from clicking the checkout button on Amazon. But you'll get something much better. You'll stop flinching every time your phone buzzes with a new bill notification. Number 4. Buy the employer match you've been leaving behind. This might be the most expensive thing you're not buying right now. If your job offers a retirement match and you're not contributing enough to get all of it, you're turning down free money. Log into your 401k or retirement plan this week and raise your contribution to whatever percentage captures the full match. A raise is the perfect time because you can raise the contribution before the extra money ever reaches your checking account. You won't miss what you never see. It's the only place you'll get a guaranteed 100% return. Your employer literally doubling your money. And most people walk right past it because no one ever explained how big a deal it is. Number 5. Buy assets by paying yourself the raise. The week your raise kicks in, increase your automatic investments by about the amount of the raise. Set up an automatic transfer into an index fund or your retirement account every month before the money ever touches your spending. This matters most if you don't fully trust yourself to be disciplined or if you don't have a specific plan for the money. If there's something real you've been saving for, a trip you've planned for ages, a genuine goal, that's different. It depends on what you're trying to do. But if your finances aren't solid yet, no emergency fund, no cushion to get you through a rough stretch, then paying yourself the raise is the move. Into savings to build that emergency fund or into the market to start building real wealth. Automate it so you never have to rely on willpower. A raise you spend buys you a slightly nicer version of the same life. A raise you invest buys you a different life. The first real raise I ever got is the reason this whole video exists. I'd been working hard, putting in the hours, taking on more responsibility, doing everything you're supposed to do, and the raise I got for all of it was about 1.5%, 1.5%. At the time, that sounded fine. A raise is a raise, right? Then I did the math. Inflation that year was around 3%. My raise was 1.5%, which means I was actually making less money than the year before. And that messed with my head, not on paper, in real life, in what my paycheck could actually buy. Think about how crazy that is. I was working harder, I'd taken on more, I was moving up, and I was quietly getting poorer every year while being told to feel grateful for it. That's when I started to lose faith in the whole story. You know the one we all grew up with? Work hard, keep your head down, climb the ladder, and you'll make more and more and life gets better. That story is broken now. Maybe it worked for our parents in the 80s and 90s, when you could walk into an office with a college degree and walk out with a good salary. That world is gone. These days, you've got people with master's degrees and PhDs working at McDonald's because they couldn't find a job in the field they went into debt for. A degree just doesn't open the doors it used to. And there I was, doing everything right, working hard, getting promoted, and ending the year with less than I started with. I was in my early 20s, fresh out of school, still living with my parents, barely any expenses. So in the moment, it didn't really hurt. But I remember thinking ahead. If this is the deal, work harder, fall further behind, year after year, what does my life look like in 10 years, 20? And the honest answer was, not a life I wanted, not even close. That's when money stopped being about my salary and started being about what I actually did with every dollar of it. Because I realized no one was coming to save me. The raise wasn't a reward. It was a trap dressed up as one. And that's why the next 5 things on this list matter even more than the first 5. Number 6, buy back your time if you'll actually use it. There's a real arbitrage in time, and it's the part most buy back your time advice skips. It comes down to what your hour is worth versus what someone else's hour costs. If you're making $200 an hour and you can pay someone $20 an hour to clean your house, do your laundry, or handle deliveries, the math is obvious. You should do it. You just bought back your own time for a tenth of what it's worth to you. But flip it around. If you're working minimum wage right now, your time isn't worth that much financially yet, so you're better off doing those things yourself for now. And the best way to make your time worth more is to build skills so people pay you more for it. Then you take a slice of that and buy your time back. In real terms, that's a cleaner once a week, a laundry or wash and fold service, grocery or meal delivery, paying someone to do the one chore you hate, even paying for a closer parking spot or a shorter commute. But 2 hard rules. 1, only if you can actually afford it. Don't buy back your time on a credit card while you're in debt. 2, only if you're actually going to use that time to build something, to learn, to work on the side hustle, to develop yourself. If you'd rather be building than scrubbing toilets, this is powerful. If you're just going to scroll on the couch with the extra time, you didn't buy back your time. You paid someone so you could do nothing. Number 7, buy your own earning power. The best thing a raise can buy is a bigger raise. And the highest leverage place to put your money, especially when you're young, is your own knowledge and skills. Nothing else compounds like it. Back in college, I was studying engineering, but I got curious about AI and data science, stuff I had no formal background in. So I took some online courses and picked up the skills on my own. Those skills landed me an internship paying around $80,000 a year as an intern. That internship turned into a full-time job when I graduated. Think about the math on that. A few online courses, some of them free, completely changed my income. No raise has ever done that for me. A raise gave me 1.5%. A skill gave me a career. That's the part people get backwards. They put all their energy into hoping for a raise, which someone else controls and which barely moves the needle. Meanwhile, the one thing they fully control, what they can do that other people can't, has no limit. Skills compound. Raises don't. So when you get a raise, take a slice and put it into yourself. An online course in a skill your industry pays for, a boot camp or certification, learning a piece of software that makes you more valuable, an in-person program, real skill building, and a good paid course is often worth far more than it costs because it saves you from expensive mistakes. When I started looking into renting out cars on Turo, I'd already watched a ton of free YouTube videos, but I still paid about $100 for a proper course on it, just so I wouldn't lose thousands learning the hard way. That $100 was some of the best money I've spent. Most things you buy lose value the second you own them. Skills do the opposite. They grow and they pay you back for the rest of your working life. The best thing a raise can buy is a bigger raise. Number 8. Buy a body and an environment that work for you. This is the thing almost everyone ignores until they can't anymore, and it's the one I'd spend on first. Invest in your health is useless advice if no one tells you what that actually means. Start with your sleep because everything else sits on top of it. A genuinely good mattress, memory foam, hybrid, whatever fits you, is one of the best purchases I can think of. You spend a third of your life on it. Good sleep doesn't just make you healthier and happier. It gives you the energy to learn a new skill, start a side hustle, become the kind of person who earns the next raise. A mattress isn't a health expense, it's an investment in everything you do, and it can pay for itself. Then fix your environment so it stops working against you. If your room gets too hot in the summer, buy an AC unit or at least a good fan. You can't sleep or think well in a hot room. Get blue light blocking glasses or warm amber bulbs for the evening, and keep your space dim at night because blue light wrecks your sleep and most people have no idea that's what's keeping them up. A HEPA air purifier if your air is bad or you have allergies. Cleaner air, fewer sick days, and better sleep again. And a proper water filter, an under sink or reverse osmosis system because you drink water every day for the rest of your life, and clean water means fewer illnesses and better long-term health. You just feel better. And the obvious one underneath all of it, eat well, real food. Use the raise to make the healthy option the easy one. Sleep, air, water, food, temperature. None of it is flashy. No one's going to be impressed by your water filter, but this is the stuff that decides how you feel every hour you're awake and how much energy you have left to build the life that gets you out of needing the raise in the first place. You can replace a job. You can replace a car. You can't replace your body, and the cost of ignoring it is far bigger than the cost of taking care of it now. Number 9. Buy the protection you've been skipping. A raise is a good time to finally buy the boring coverage that protects everything else you're building. If people depend on your income, get a term life insurance policy. Get disability insurance, which almost no one has, and which protects the one thing that just became more valuable, your ability to earn. And get actual renters or home coverage instead of hoping nothing happens. No one brags about this. There's no thrill in it. But you're not buying it for the good times. You're buying it so one bad day doesn't erase 10 good years. You insure the things you can't afford to lose. Your income is one of them. Number 10, buy quality once. For the things you use every day. Take the things you actually use every single day and upgrade them to something built to last. The office chair you sit in for 8 hours. The shoes you stand in all day. The bag you carry everywhere. The knife you cook with every night. The tool you use constantly for work. This sounds like spending, but it's usually the cheaper move. The cheap thing you replace every year costs more than the good thing you buy once. And the upgrade is something you feel every single day, not just once. Spend on what you use constantly. Cut hard on what you barely touch. That's how you enjoy a raise without it owning you. Marcus is 33 and just got a $9,000 raise. Big moment. But that $9,000 is the gross number. After taxes, he's really taking home closer to $525 a month. Still great, just not the number on the offer letter. Marcus decided where it would all go before the money ever hit his account. He took $400 once and bought himself a treat, a nice mechanical keyboard and a second monitor he'd been eyeing for over a year. Done. Then he made a rule. 80% of that $525 a month would never touch his lifestyle. For the first few months, most of it went at a credit card he was carrying at 23%, a guaranteed 23% return, better than anything in his investment account. The moment that card hit zero, he sent the same money somewhere else. He bumped his 401k to grab the full employer match he'd been missing and put the rest into automatic index fund investing. He also spent $300 on an online certification in his field, betting on his next raise. The other 20% 20% he let himself enjoy on purpose, a standing desk for the back that was killing him, and slightly better groceries. A year later, Marcus's apartment is the same. His car is the same. To anyone looking, his life barely changed. But he's debt-free, he's getting the free match money he used to leave behind, he's investing more every month than ever, and he's more skilled than he was last year. His income bought him almost nothing you can see. No flashy gadgets or clothes that he can show off to his family and friends. Instead, he got something much better. Peace of mind from more savings, a more comfortable setup at home for getting work done, and the ability to earn even more money in the near future. So here's what you can do this week, ideally before your next paycheck even arrives. Don't try to do all 10. That's how you end up doing nothing. Pick the first one that applies to you. For most people, that's paying off a high-interest credit card or grabbing the full employer match. Decide the exact dollar amount going to it this week, and give yourself number 1, the guilt-free treat. Then from the next month onwards, you can start paying down credit card debt and go through the rest of the things I talked about one by one. Remember, skills compound faster than a raise ever could.